All right, welcome back to the Tank Me Later podcast. This is episode 34, and Adam King is going to join me as we go through the initial, first ever industry pickup fantasy draft. Let's dive into it. All right, as I said, this is the first ever industry pickup draft. Adam's going to join me, and the reason that he's able to join me is that he picks at 12, I pick at 2. So in theory, we should be able to do this without taking each other's picks, at least reasonably. Obviously, you know, if I have picked 2, I'm sure you would have really wanted Joel Embiid at 12. However, I'm sorry, I'm going to take him from you, Adam. I don't know if you'll be able to get Embiid in this draft.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping that we don't snipe each other. I mean, once we get, I guess, beyond pick 70, pick 80, pick 90, we might start. There might be a snipe or two because pick 80, there's not a big difference between pick 80, pick 100, and then 100, 130. So there might be one or two, but as I said off air, I've got a pretty interesting strategy for this draft. Picking at 12 is obviously not conducive to winning. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best position because you're already at a disadvantage with your first player, and there's no third round reversal, I don't think. So we'll see. It's a pretty wacky strategy, and I'm going to need to justify it if it falls into place, but we'll see how we go. But yes, I'm not counting on getting Embiid.
Okay, that's good because I know you had talked about this really exciting strategy, and maybe the massive revelation was that you were planning to get Jokic and Embiid there on the flip. I'm just glad that wasn't it. So now I'm excited to see what it is. But as I said, this is the first industry pickup draft. I think this is kind of was created. B-Dub, Alex Reclean, and Josh Lloyd kind of got together and wanted to create a league or set of leagues that are just analysts. For anybody that wants to follow along and use as a reference that they're able to. So B-Dub was able to pretty quickly get up this pretty awesome site, especially considering the quick turnaround, industrypickup.com. It's got league rules, kind of the mission of the league, the participants, which I'll go ahead and read through them. Josh Lloyd, Alex Reclean, Brandon Woodward is B-Dub, Alex Barutha, Mitch Casey, Drew Dinkmeyer, Adam King, our very own right here with me, Mike Barner, Rhett Bauer, me, Mike Catrone, and Dan Titus. So that's not the exact draft order, but it is the list of participants. Adam, how excited are you to be competing against this group?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, these drafts are always fun. It is pretty hard to get your guys because a lot of us are targeting the same people, and it's not like some of your home drafts or your home leagues where one or two people might not do a lot of research, and so you know that there'll be some value. It's tricky to find value in a league like this, so that's, I guess, part of my thinking here with thinking outside the box a little bit. Maybe taking a few guys higher than where others are looking at them. But look, time will tell, but always a pleasure and always an honor to be in any league like this. And as you said, the plan is that this will expand moving into year 2, year 3 and onwards. And I believe the plan is that we'll have a standard 9-cat like this. We'll have an auction. We'll have a points league. We'll have a roto league. Maybe we'll have an 8-cat, I'm not sure. So there'll be 4 or 5 leagues. Analysts will be limited, I think, to 1 league each. So you can't be in everyone, maybe 1 or 2. And B-Dub has set up a website as well. So if you are sort of tuning in and head over, I think it's just industrypickup.com. Is that right? Yeah. So head over there. It lists who's in the league, the rules. I'd say most of us will be doing drafts and talking about this throughout the season. I know Josh will be and we will be. So, yeah, it should be a really good reference point for listeners and readers to see how we manage our teams in the league. That's the idea of it, is that you can see how we actually manage our teams in a league where there's money on the line as well as bragging rights. So look, I think it's very positive.
Yeah, and I think it's a pretty standard 9-cat league. The only rule that I guess was non-traditional, at least maybe it was to me, was weekly games max of 4 games played per starting roster spot.
Yep.
So it should, I guess you probably have to manage your players a little bit more, but also maybe, I guess you probably still manage your lineup about the same amount. It wouldn't be too much different other than it's just something else to keep track of. Maybe not every league has that. I don't know. Adam, I've never played in a league with that. That's also, if I'm not mistaken, daily lineups. So have you been in a league like that?
Yeah, I think from memory last year, the Locked On Fantasy Bowl was like this. And I think Josh is still doing the same thing. And the thinking behind it is that it reduces the impact of injuries and things like that. You can't just, like, if your best player goes out, you can fill that spot, but only to a point. So I think that's the idea. Is Josh would have suggested this, and I know B-Dub is as well, and I do it in a couple of my leagues. Is just to try and level the playing field a little bit in terms of streaming and negate some of that injury impact later in the season.
Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up the draft board so we can kind of see it. You can see my loaded queue here with Joel Embiid, just because I'm assuming Josh isn't going to take the advice of, I forget the guy's name from Twitter that told him he should take Embiid at 1. So I'm going to grab Embiid at 2 very happily. I think it is a bit closer this year as far as Jokic and Embiid, but I think Jokic is still the clear number 1. But I know we talked about the other analysts. I know Josh is doing a show while he's recording or while we're drafting. I know Mitch Casey is with the Ball Boys podcast. I don't know if anybody else is, but I know that's at least 3, I guess technically 4 different perspectives from 3 different shows on a lot of different draft slots and a lot of different rosters, and apparently an experimental, very exciting roster from Adam King himself. So I don't know. I
would say, just having a look at who's in the draft, I would say Mike Catron, he might do one as well. I don't know whether he's doing one live or whether he'll do a recap, but chances are he'll do one for his Watching Boxes podcast. And Dan Titus I don't think, he may not do a show dedicated to this, but they may talk about it on the Roto World show, or he might do a column or something. So there should be plenty of insight from all the different analysts, both now and throughout the season, I think.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of different perspectives, I'm sure. I don't know if you were planning to. I was planning to get a bunch of these guys on there throughout the season to kind of discuss how their season has gone in this league specifically, maybe some other leagues as well, but should be able to stay up to date between the industrypickup.com website, at industrypickup on Twitter. And we are about to get started with the first ever draft here in 5 seconds. And I guess here we go. Adam,
here we go.
Are you excited?
Yeah, look, I'm hang on, I don't need those draft sounds on. Let's everyone would have just turned those off, I think.
I turned it off before the draft. I don't know why
it reset. So B-Dub must have done something, changed a setting or something, because it reset it like 5 minutes ago and said, said some changes have been made. So I think it then resets the draft room.
Okay, interesting. If I also reconnect, it turns the draft volume back on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. Okay. So first 2 picks on brand, Jokic and Embiid. Rhett Bauer is 3rd, and he's more known for his dynasty content. So, I mean, I'm sure he knows a lot about redraft as well, but let's see if he no, Tyrese Halliburton. That's fairly standard.
He's also a big Pacers fan, so it's not very surprising that he did that. I don't know why the picks are showing up down in the chat, but not on my draft board. So that'll get annoying if I have to refresh after every single pick. Hopefully not.
Your draft board is in your big draft board up the top here?
Well, I'm saying, it's saying, Or is it just showing up on my screen, and is it totally showing the picks up there up top?
Yeah, mine's tracking along all right at the moment.
Interesting.
Tatum at 4 is interesting. I don't mind Tatum at 4 because of the just the games played kind of thing here. I think if you look at, well, Shea probably as well, but there's a chance he plays the most games this season out of anyone in the top 12. So, yeah, I don't mind Tatum at 4.
No, I think it is a bit surprising that Luka is starting to slip a little bit. I would imagine he doesn't go past 6, but could be wrong. I think, so B-Dub got him at 6. I think the free throws and turnovers are a bit of a concern, but also kind of this early preseason injury.
Yeah.
Not really sure the extent of that. I would imagine that if he does end up missing time, he doesn't miss much. But I guess it's just something to keep in mind. I mean, nobody else is probably going to be able to watch this and still have a draft tomorrow or anything like that. So
no,
drafts are probably done, but I guess it is still something to keep an eye on. Maybe look at a guy like a Jaden Hardy or Josh Green if Luka does miss some time.
Yeah, I've got Jaden Hardy in a dynasty, both my dynasty leagues, maybe at least one. I know I've got him in your one in the Tank Me Later dynasty league. So I'm not going to say that I'm hoping for an injury to Luka or Kyrie, but it wouldn't bother me too much because I don't think I have. Oh, maybe I have Luka in the league, but I am curious to see what Jaden Hardy can do this season. Damian Lillard went after Steph Curry, so no real big surprises here. Doncic maybe fell slightly. Lillard at 8, probably a little bit higher for me. I think there's guys I'd prefer over him, but he's pretty safe there. Giannis went at 9. Interesting that your draft room's not refreshing automatically.
It's showing like that for you as well, right?
Yeah. I can see that. Mine's updating. So, all right. So LaMelo Ball went at 11, and I said I'm going to talk about my strategy here. I have 2 guys in mind, so I'm going to get one of them. I'm looking at Anthony Davis and Domantas Sabonis at pick 12. So we'll see. They might both be there, depending what Dan goes with here.
Says he's in the draft room, so.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got both of them. Oh, man, I didn't think I'd have both. So, yeah, I'm looking at Davis and Sabonis in my build. I mean, I could take them both. Could, but there's a... Sabonis feels safer. Just in terms of games played, I like his assists out of position, but Anthony Davis gets more blocks and steals. Look, I'm going to go with Anthony Davis at pick 12. And then this is where it gets wacky because I'm considering Wembanyama just because I really want him. And in this build, he's really good, and he's not going to be there at the next pick. He's not going to be there at 36,
he's not.
37. So it is stupidly high, but I could also take Sabonis. How badly do I want Wembanyama? And am I going to cop criticism for taking him?
I wouldn't be upset if you did it, because then I can just go ahead and toss out my potential idea of taking Wemby and Chet with my second and third rounders.
Yep. Look, I'm just going to do it because why not? It's a talking point. It means there's probably going to be some. Yeah, there we go. I was going to say there'll be some chat here probably, and there is. So my thinking is here in my punt build, which I'll talk about a bit later once I've got some more guys on my team. But obviously, you can see I'm targeting some bigs here early, blocks, rebounds, field goal percentage. And now I don't have to draft again for probably 10 minutes. So I guess you could start talking about your strategy if you want.
Well, it sounds like the fact that you're going with your bigs early makes me think that you're at least punting assists. I know you're not afraid to punt 4 categories, but
I'm not.
My plan when I've done, and I'm very prepared to draft from 2 because I think I've drafted from 2 in 70% of the mocks that I've done.
Yep.
I like to punt assists from 2. So hopefully we can either both do it or.
Well, I'll give you. Well, not because it's not going to matter. I'm not punting assists, so
That's huge. That's huge for me. Okay, cool.
Just so you know, it obviously looks like I am at the moment, but I'm hopefully not.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like anybody else is too. So that's kind of huge for me. But a few of the pairs so far, LaMelo Ball and Trae Young, I love doing that.
Yep.
And then Giannis and Sabonis, I love doing that. And I think that Giannis and Sabonis start is probably the only time that I'm drafting Zion at all this year. And I would probably do it in like round 5 just to combine with those guys, dominate 6 categories, just not worry about free throws, threes, or turnovers.
Yeah, I feel like Zion will go in round 4 in this draft.
Maybe.
I just think knowing with the analysts, with all of us knowing that we've got our guys and we're prepared to reach, because we, like, analysts are often quite good at building a strategy and that sort of thing. So reaching is not uncommon in drafts like this. So obviously with me, with me and Wembanyama, but I'm still not convinced. I'll probably get to the end of the season and wish I'd taken Sabonis, but Wemby has looked incredible.
He has. He looks very, very good. It's going to be scary when he's actually kind of more towards his peak. It's hard to imagine what it's going to look like.
So you're coming up here.
I am.
Any targets? Anyone specific?
I think this is the not fun part about picking 2 is I don't really like this turn here. So I'm not even really sure. See, I'm scrolling all the way down to look. I don't think I really like many of the. I guess I'm on the clock now. Desmond Bane went. I might just pivot from what I like to do and go with some bigs earlier. Let's see. Embiid will be good for everything pretty much, except for not great with assists, not great with threes.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, I don't like this. Yeah, I'm just going to go Cat. He feels like kind of sort of the best available, but like I don't love that pick.
I think it's fine. I don't think there's a lot of upside picking him there. Like I don't think he can get much better than top 20, but he fit. Yeah, like you said, he'll fit what you need there. He's a handy passer, handy assists as a center, much like Embiid. Should hit maybe 3 threes a game, close to 3 threes, which helps. So. Yeah, it is getting you some of those guard stats without having to actually draft a guard. Porzingis at 24. Wow.
Okay.
Damn,
so
Josh.
I was not even really thinking about either of them. I'm gonna. Okay. Do I want Jimmy Butler? I'm gonna go Jimmy Butler. I like Jimmy Butler this year. I was thinking about going Lauri Markkanen, but I don't know. I'm just kind of feeling Jimmy Butler. I think he played 64 games last year. I don't imagine that he's going to play significantly less. I know that might be a slight concern for some people, but he's a top 10 player when he's on the court. If I can get 65 games, honestly, that's comparable to a lot of stars around the league. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, look, I was hoping Porzingis would get back to me at 36 because he's sort of been going around that 40 range. Not to be, obviously. So I might have to pivot slightly, depending on who is available. Where's my... man, this is hard now. Already getting sniped by someone around ahead.
Yeah.
What's he going to do?
I feel like normally I try and talk through all the picks, but since this is a more competitive league with money on the line, I'm just focused.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and we both are. And I mean, that's drafting and podcasting at the best of times is hard. But when there's money on the line and you're against everyone in the league knows what they're doing. Not to say that that's not the case in a lot of drafts, because anyone that listens to us is probably degenerate enough that they take time out of their day to listen to content and do some research. So I'll quickly recap some of those picks. Going back a bit. What did we have? Sabonis went with the 4th pick in the 2nd round. Then we had Jaren Jackson, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Kyrie Irving, Mikal Bridges, Desmond Bain. You took Karl Anthony Towns, Porzingis and Kawhi on the turn. Jimmy Butler, James Harden, Darius Garland, LeBron James, Cade Cunningham, Bam Adebayo, DeJounte Murray, and De'Aaron Fox. So we're at Alex Barutha now with the, what's he at, 33rd pick, 34th?
34, yeah.
He's obviously punting because he's got LaMelo Ball, Trae Young, and Fred VanVleet. So
not going to be very competitive in field goal percentage, I don't imagine.
No. Should have plenty of assists, plenty of steals, threes, points. Oh, okay. So guy I better get in here. He's actually there. Both of the players I wanted here is there. I didn't think he would be. But we're keeping this fun. And we're taking Chet Holmgren there. And yes, as I said, I'm not punting assists. So I obviously need some assists now. And I know who I want. And actually not getting Porzingis there probably helps with this pick. And it's high based on his role. But I'm taking Drew Holiday. As I said, a little bit higher than where he's been going and where you need to take him. But I'm 24 picks away from my next pick. So I'm looking for assists, steals, someone who won't kill my field goal percentage. He's a decent rebounder. So, I just think he's fairly safe there. Again, not much upside, but in my build, he's a sneaky guard. I'm pretty set now for rebounds, blocks, field goal percentage. I need to start getting some assists. And what about you coming back 8 picks away?
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised Lauri Markkanen just went beginning of round 4. I'm surprised he fell that far. He's a guy that I was thinking about taking when I took Cat. So as he started dropping, I was like, oh shoot, there's no way he's gonna make it all the way back around to me. But I've been trying to sit here and think like, okay, is there something I can really punt? And like I could, but like I don't feel like I have to punt anything at this point because all those guys are good at free throws, field goal percentage. I should be able to get enough blocks. Maybe steals, blocks and steals aren't great. It should be good with rebounds, assists. I feel like from their positions, those are good. A lot of points, an average amount of threes. I don't know. Maybe I'll punt. I could punt like threes, assists, steals, or blocks. I got to kind of make a decision here. But man, I have no idea what I'm looking at here.
Yeah. Alex Barutha, he always drafts well. He's taken Paul George with his 4th pick, so he's obviously leaning heavily into that guard-friendly build. Paul George is going to get you guard stats, points, threes, steals, some assists. So his free throw percentage is pretty elite at the moment. Looking for any other clear builds. There isn't. No one's really going with a clear build here other than myself and probably Alex Barutha.
Yeah, I don't really see anything that's a very like strong.
Maybe Mike Catron here, who's about to draft, who's gone Shea, Kyrie, and LeBron. LeBron, another forward eligible player, but he'll get you guard stats. So we'll see who he goes with here. And there goes, so Zion did go in the 4th to B-Dub as well. So, he's that's where I thought he'd probably go.
Maybe I'll, I don't even know if I should say it out loud because I feel like then he'll get picked, but maybe I'll lean into a punt assist kind of thing-ish and go Jaylen Brown here because Jaylen Brown's some of the other guys looking at. But I know if I don't take Jordan Poole that Josh will take him. Ooh, but I think Rhett likes Jaylen Brown. If
you're not punting points, you need to get them now because after this round, maybe the next round, they dry up really quickly. And I mean, your team's pretty good for point with Embiid. You're pretty solid. Towns and Butler are both 20, 22 a game, maybe, but you probably need like a 26, 27 point per game.
Of course.
What does that make your decision easy here, Jordan Poole?
See, I don't know because I don't even know if I really like. I like Jordan Poole's upside, and I feel like the other guys will negate any field goal percentage issues that he has.
We're at 47. I'm actually surprised he's still here. I thought he might go sort of in the 30s in a draft like this. So, and I can pretty much guarantee if you hadn't taken him, Josh would have there.
Right.
Josh likes Jordan Poole, so he would have been happy to get him at that spot.
And now I got to decide if I'm going to go. I think I like DeMar or Kessler or Claxton with this next pick, maybe even Scotty Barnes. Or do I go Tyrese Maxey?
Yeah, I think Maxey's sneaky this season. I think he's going sort of 50, 60, but he could be top 40, top 30 if and when Harden leaves. Well, he's not. Well, he's already left, I think.
Yeah, I'd imagine that he doesn't play for Philly again, but Daryl Morey's going to have no problem just holding him.
Yeah.
So,
Josh taking his time here. So he's gone with. Oh no, sorry, he back to back, didn't he? So he took Nick Claxton.
Oh goodness. Okay.
Still plenty of names here, but we're sort of in that area of the draft where it's a bit meh.
Okay. Well, he said that he wasn't very happy. I guess that I took Poole. So now if he watches this, he'll know that I'm probably not as upset, but I am a little upset that he took Maxey.
Yeah. Yeah, Josh, as I said, Josh would have taken him there.
I think Poole, so. I'm gonna go DeMar. I think leaning into points will also help the field goal percentage. Really good free throw percentage. I have that.
Yep.
I usually don't love drafting old guys, but apparently I'm doing that in this draft.
And just so people are aware in terms of the roster settings, I think we're 10 active, 4 bench here. So we've got point guard, shooting guard, guard, small forward, power forward, forward, center, and then 3 flex or utility spots. So yeah, it's not one of those wacky 2 center leagues or anything like that. And I have to.
Not that I actually expected him to make it all the way back around to me, but
no,
man.
I would have considered him if he'd come back to me, but I didn't think he'd fall past about pick 50. So that's about right. And then Walker Kessler at 53. I think Walker Kessler has settled nicely. I think he was sort of being hyped and he was going in the 30s, which was too high, but he's settled back into that sort of back into the 4th, early 5th range, which feels pretty safe to me.
It feels safe. I was definitely thinking about him with this pick because any free throw issues would have been fixed by the guys I have, but I didn't end up doing it. But I very distinctly remember Alex or Clean saying that he would have taken Kessler in round 2. I think it was a couple months ago. So I'm sure he's a little bit not very happy that he was 3 picks away from getting him in round 5.
Oh, DeAndre Ayton. I've voiced my concerns with Ayton. Are you worried about him at all this year, or you're pretty confident he'll have maybe his best fantasy season?
I think he'll be better than he was last year, but I mean, I don't think he's going to pop off or anything like that. I probably am not going to draft him very often. I think it's crazy to me that he was frustrated in Phoenix that he wasn't getting touches because Devin Booker and Kevin Durant were shooting too much. And now he's going to go to Portland and have a rookie, very good rookie, but like nobody on that team, along with, Simons, Shaden Sharp, Jamie Grant, none of those guys are KD or Devin Booker. And if he's not getting the ball, you think he's going to be happy when he was getting mad at those guys. Now, I do think there may be more of a concerted effort to get him the ball because they probably all saw what happened when he was frustrated in Phoenix. So I think, a guy like Scoot Henderson is going to be a leader, a point guard, and try and get the ball to his center. So that could help, but.
Do we have an auto pick? Did we? Rhett must have auto picked Desmond Bain. That might be what he's saying there. I think you could argue that despite, Portland obviously aren't going to be as good as Phoenix, but you could argue that he's further down the pecking order now than he was.
For you saying Jalen Williams and OKC?
No, sorry. No, still on Ayton.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Because Jeremy Grant is not afraid to shoot. Anthony Simons is not afraid to shoot. Scoot is their franchise, so they're going to let him shoot. And then Shaden Sharp's there as well. He's certainly not coming in and playing as the first or even maybe second option, I think. So that's my concern is that, damn it, there goes Scotty Barnes. Scotty Barnes is who I had my eye on there. Ball boys, big boys. So that would be Mitch who took him. So I've still got a couple of guys in mind here. So obviously I'm looking for assists and steals, basically, and potentially players that get some out of position rebounds as well. So I've got a couple of guys in mind. We're at pick 60, so I'm picking at pick 61. Well, there goes one of them, so that sort of makes my decision for me. I'm keeping it fun and going with Josh Giddey.
Nice.
And then I've got to get my guy a little bit early, but I love him this year, Markelle Fultz. So with those three guys, Holiday, Giddey, Fultz, my assists are sort of starting to come back to even sort of level playing field with a few of these other teams. It'd be nice if Giddey could get me 1.2 steals this year, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, maybe more than last year. 1.2 would probably be the best case scenario.
Yeah.
What did he have last year? 0.8?
Probably 0.8 or 0.9. Yeah. Actually, I can probably... I don't know where he is.
Dan just went Tyler Hero round 6.
Yeah. Anunoby is who I was looking at there as well because of his steals. But I don't mind Josh Giddey because he'll get me good rebounds. So we're coming back around to your pick. So have you decided on a strategy yet? A clear strategy?
No.
No. Okay.
I guess we'll try and figure it out maybe with this next pick. But I think maybe because I was going to do a punting assist when I went with Embiid, but now I feel like I don't really – maybe I can kind of sort of punt assist, but I feel like I'll get okay numbers there. Maybe punt steals. I feel like Jimmy Butler's probably the only one there that's really getting these steals. But I feel pretty good everywhere else. Maybe punt. Well, Cat and Jordan Pools give me punt threes. I really feel like I was trying to punt something, and now I just have a really, really balanced roster. So
just replying in the chat there to. I'm glad that my team is at least getting some discussion going in the chat.
yeah,
It's sort of boom or bust, I think. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to. It'll be interesting to see if my plan works or doesn't. Ja Morant at 67, that feels okay.
probably earlier than I would take him, but I think it's totally fine.
So we'll go while you sort of think a little bit about your next pick. I'll just go through for those that aren't watching. I'll go through picks. Where did we get up to? So I think we got up to. Oh, hang on, I've got to go that way. So we got up to sort of De'Aaron Fox. I think Alex Barutha in the third round took Fred VanVleet. Then we had Mobley and I took Chet. Then I took Drew Holiday at the start of the fourth round. Markkanen, Paul George, Miles Turner, Jamal Murray, Pascal Siakam, Zion, Zach LaVine, Jalen Brunson, Jaylen Brown. You took Jordan Poole, Nick Claxton, Tyrese Maxey on the turn. You came back with DeMar DeRozan, Devin Vassell, Walker Kessler, DeAndre Ayton, Alperen Şengün, Jalen Williams, Nikola Vucevic, Scotty Barnes, Julius Randle, OG Anunoby. Then I took Gideon Fultz, Tyler Hero, Brandon Ingram, Bradley Beal, Rudy Gobert, Ja Morant, Mark Williams. Early for Mark Williams. B-Dub likes him though, so what did he get him there? 68 or something. Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, and Jarrett Allen, and you are now on the clock.
Yeah, I am. And goodness, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do here. I'm going to probably... I'm deciding between two Blazers with Jeremy Grant or Anthony Simons, and I feel like I just like Simons a lot this year. But I gotta decide if that fits. Doesn't really fit with what I want to do.
Yeah, I made a trade last year with in the Dynasty 30 League. You're probably in that one as well, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're all in that. I traded Kyrie Irving for Anthony Simons, which at the time I was a bit – because I still don't know a ton about Dynasty, but I had to ask for some get some feedback from Matt Lawson and some Dynasty guys on, hey, is this a fair trade? And they thought it was, so I trusted them and went with the trade, and I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
I think Simons could be pretty good this year.
I like him a lot. I think I was looking it up yesterday for a column. He averaged, I think, 27 points, 5 point something assists, and 4.5 threes when Dame didn't play last year.
Okay.
So
it fills me with confidence. So
now Scoot will be there, which will take away from that a little bit, but I think 25 and 5 is not out of the question. So
all right, coming back around to you now. So Josh went with Dan Gafford and Austin Reeves at picks 72 and 73.
You did. I'm going to go ahead and get my guy that I really like this year because I don't think he'll make it back around to me, and get Andrew Wiggins, which is probably, just looking at ADP or whatever, probably a round and a half early. But I really like Wiggins this year. He was awesome to start last season. I'm sure if you've listened to this podcast before, you've probably heard me say this exact next few sentences a few times. But awesome to start last season. Missed some time. Wasn't ever the same player when he was able to come back. But I think a healthy offseason, he's going to be really good this year. Yeah,
he was, yeah. And he's you have to wonder with everything that went on with his absence. It wasn't injury. It was personal. It was family. You have to wonder mentally where he was when he came back.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously the team isn't going to pressure him to come back in situations like, oh, really, B-Dub? They're not going to pressure him in that spot,
Mhm.
but they're going to encourage him to come back. They need him out there. So, yeah, full off season under his belt. I think he'll be ready to go. I think he'll be pretty good. So after Wiggins, we had Cam Johnson, Jakob Poeltl, who I was hoping would fall to me, but wishful thinking. Middleton, Ben Simmons, who I was hoping would fall to me, but Kyle Kuzma and Rozier. So, who am I going to take? So I still need. I still need assists and steals, I think. And I probably need to get a shot. I probably don't need a shot blocker, but I probably need some rebounds.
Yeah, I think you'll probably be good on blocks with your first 3 picks.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good on blocks, but Wemby and Chet could only be 8 rebounds, 8.5 rebounds. I don't think they're going to be like 11 or 12. So I probably needs another rebounder, and I do have. Oh, damn! That's the second time bloody Mitch Casey has sniped me. Chris Paul is who I wanted there.
Oh man.
I actually don't know who I'm going to take now. And this is the problem with drafting with analysts. They often
take Zach Collins in round 7 before he can come back around to me. That's the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, my queue just got wiped out a little bit there. Okay. So I've sort of got a Chris Paul backup here. So assists and steals is really all I wanted him for. So I'll let it run down a bit because I need to know. I need to figure out who I'm going to take after that. Let me just. So I know who I'm taking here, but I'm just going to bring him up on screen and have a look at who I might be able to get. I've got my eye on a guy here who's not going to be a big. All right, well, we'll draft. So Marcus Smart, I'm going to take there. Sort of my cheaper version of Chris Paul. For the first 2 months, he's going to be really good, and then we'll see. Where's my roster? I've got to have a look at my. So I still don't have a small forward either. And then I think. Blocks. It's more rebounds. All right. So what are we at? 85. I really don't love this pick, but I think he's going to get solid rebound numbers, and that's Yusuf Nurkic. Again, a little bit high, but he can pass the ball, so he might get me 3 assists a game. He usually, with his big concrete hands, he usually falls into a steal a game as well. So, and maybe a block. So, little bit of a reach, but he's a good fit, and he'll get. I think he could average double-digit rebounds this season if he plays 28, 30 minutes, maybe 32.
I was pretty surprised when you said you were trying to get your mini Chris Paul that you didn't get Tyus Jones. That's who I thought you were about to take when you said that.
Yeah, no, I considered him as well. I just think Marcus Smart has slightly more upside on the defensive end, just slightly. Sure. Not like he could be 1.8 steals. Tyus Jones might be 1.4. So that was probably the difference. And Marcus Smart has no Ja Morant there for the first 25 games at least. So, Yeah, Ty. It was him and Tyus. Both I had in my queue. So, yeah, I'm okay with Smart. Probably
Yeah.
would, and I don't think in another draft I did, I actually got him coming back in the next round, and I don't think he would have fallen that far in this draft.
I don't imagine that he would have now.
So we had, as my queue was decimated, after you took Wiggins, we had Cam Johnson, Jakob Pertl, Chris Middleton, Ben Simmons, Kyle Kuzma, Terry Rozier, Chris Paul, Zach Collins, Jalen Duran, Marcus Smart, Yusuf Nurkic, Tyus Jones, Draymond Green, Scoot Henderson. Draymond is actually someone that fits my build as well. I was sort of hoping he would fall, but I actually don't really like him, so I'm not sad that he's not on my team.
Yeah, and Alex Bertha's really leaning into that punt, field goal percentage, punt turnovers bill really well.
Yep. I still don't have a small forward, so. And I don't
Giddy has small forward eligibility. You'll be all right.
He does.
That's actually that needs to be probably updated because he doesn't have point guard eligibility, but he has power forward eligibility.
Yeah, I'm just shuffling my roster now, actually, so I can actually fill my roster spots a bit better because of that eligibility.
I didn't want to go with a second Blazer, but if Jeremy Grant slipped to me, I was going to. So thank you, B-Dub, for taking him. That's really, really good value. But then Jeremy Sohan just went middle of round 8 from Alex McLean.
Yeah, that's high. I mean, you really, once you get to where we are, sort of pick 90, you just, if you want him, you grab him because he could finish top 70. He could finish outside the top 130. You just don't know. But yeah, I was hoping he'd fall to me, but wasn't confident. Onyeka Okongwu goes after Jeremy Grant. All right. So who have you got in mind here?
So right now I'm looking at, there's a couple players. Hopefully Rhett doesn't take any of them, so I at least have my choices. PJ Washington, I'm looking at top 100 guy last year, so getting him right here is probably, it's probably his peak, but I feel like he's going to be just a solid player. And then I'm also looking at he probably thinks that he sniped me, but I'm good. I'm off the Derek White train. D'Anthony Melton, I'm thinking about him as well. Because
feel free not to think about him.
Feel free not to think about him. Ooh, that makes me want to think about him even harder.
Yeah, my queue is pretty small, but D'Anthony Melton is one of the guys on it. I think I'm going to have to add some guys to my queue.
I think I might go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and get the Melton pick. I feel more likely that Josh takes him than he does PJ Washington. So I feel pretty good about that. And then I have to decide if I go PJ Washington or Asar Thompson. Is it way too early and I'm just trying to get guys I like and I'm just totally passing on value? I feel like I do that sometimes.
Look, it probably is, but again, we're at that point of the draft. I do think PJ is being slept on a bit because we don't know when. We can hope, but Bridges may not play this season, and PJ was pretty good last year. I thought he was
solid.
He's pretty safe here. They've paid him, so that sort of reassures me or reassures fans that they're invested in him as part of their future. So, there's another guy I like.
I don't know if you saw that, but as soon as Josh picked D'Angelo Russell, it said Rhett Bauer or Bauer 3 is typing. He hates D'Angelo Russell. So I know he started typing some sort of comment and then said, you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be nice today. We'll see. But hopefully, need Josh to pick so I know what I'm doing here. Okay. Jalen Green. That's probably like pretty good value to get him at 97.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm going to go ahead and get PJ Washington here.
I don't like anyone here.
Well, you have a little bit, but I'll go ahead and I guess kind of recap since I
Mm.
guess we talked about kind of everything. After Conway went CJ McCollum, Derek White. I went Melton. Josh went D'Lo, Jalen Green. I went PJ Washington. Rhett is back on the clock. No idea. Maybe he'll get another pacer because I think he only has one and get either Buddy Hield or Bruce Brown. But there's some pretty solid value still available, guys, based on Fantrax ADP. It's going a little earlier. Wendell's still available. John Collins, Clay Thompson, Jabari Smith, Michael Porter Jr. Not guys that I probably would have taken necessarily. Like, I'm not regretting my picks, but guys that generally, I guess, go a little bit earlier in drafts. But not surprised with Rhett taking Tobias Harris there.
No. And I pick 100. That's very safe for Tobias.
And he's going, it seems like a lot safer since he, I guess, auto drafted Devin Vassell. He's like, yeah, that was my upside swing now. So I'll go safer. Go Jared Allen, Cam Johnson, Derek White, Tobias Harris. Those are very safe, solid picks.
Yeah, yep. I'm just going through here trying to figure out what I need. As I said, I think blocks, I'm set in blocks. I'm pretty set in rebounds now. It's assists and steals that I need, so I probably still need there's not a lot of assists left on the board at this point.
Nope, there's a couple guys, but not a ton, and they might be gone before they get back around to you, and you probably have to sacrifice some percentages.
Yeah, that's the issue with any punt build, but with something like this, because I need those, which are going to be typically guard stats, assists and steals, but I also need field goal percentage because I've got bigs on my team, but I don't have any bigs that are sort of those like 70%, 65% guys. So I'm solid, I would say, in field goal percentage, but probably not elite yet. I'm looking at Westbrook. I just don't know if I can do it.
I'll get you the assist. The field goal percentage was better with the Clippers than it was with the Lakers.
It was. I mean, there's a few guys. There's guys in this range that I like. They're so unsexy. And I feel like at this point in the draft, you just want to go for upside, and some of these guys that I'm looking at are just boring. So I'm considering Robert Williams. He will get me rebounds and blocks. Clint Capella is there as well. I think he hasn't been drafted, has he?
I didn't know. He's right there.
There goes Robert Williams. I do have someone else in mind too who I just don't want to take Westbrook. I know he's going to get me assists, but I started fun. I'm going to keep going fun and go with Asar.
There we go.
He'll get me some assists and steals. His field goal percentage isn't great.
Maybe it'll be better than we think. I don't know. He's a rookie, so we'll see.
Yeah. And then, like, what have we got assists-wise? I just don't think I can do Westbrook. I'll hate myself if I do it. No, and he'll drag my field goal percentage down too. No, look, I'm going to go with Josh Hart.
Okay.
Some assists, not a lot, but he's 52, 53%, good rebounder. He'll get me a steal. So yeah, he does fit that bill. But I think my last two picks, I'm just going to have to go Well, we've got 4 picks left, so I'm just going to have to go try and find some cheap assist guys.
I think that there's a couple guys left that you can probably get some solid assist numbers from.
Yeah.
I can think of 2 off the top of my head, but shouldn't be too terribly difficult to find that.
No, it'll just be finding ones that don't tear my field goal percentage down. Guys that are going to not shoot 40%. So we'll see. It's a long time till it gets back to me. Bruce Brown was the other guy I was looking at there. Mm-hmm. Fits my build, but he's gone.
He does.
So we had, I can't remember where you got up to, but we had Klay Thompson, Mitch Robinson, Michael Porter, Keegan Murray, Wendell Carter, Spencer Dinwiddie, Rob Williams, Zar Thompson, Josh Hart, Benedict Mathurin, Bruce Brown, Clint Capella, Keldon Johnson. Coming back to you in about 5 picks. Where are you going here?
I'm kind of thinking, looking through my roster, I think I'm kind of saying, okay, cool. Punting assists. I have a couple guys that can get a handful, but I don't have anybody that's dominant. I don't think anybody averages over, I think the most would be 6 assists per game. So not really going to be very competitive in assists. Cool punting assists. Maybe punting steals as well. I feel like maybe Poole get okay steals numbers. Melton will. Jimmy Butler will. Wait, a lot of those guys are around 1, maybe a little less than 1. So I guess punting, assists, and steals. The threes are a little bit lacking, so I could get Buddy Hield here. I'm kind of thinking about that. I could also go with a Gary Trent Jr. That'll get me some steals and points. I think he also just has a larger role this year with Toronto, with Fred VanVleet gone. I'll probably come off the bench, but still play a pretty sizable role. Don't know really any other targets as of right now that I'm looking at for this part of the draft. I'm trying to scroll through and see if I can find anybody else.
This bit of the draft is interesting too, because obviously when you're picking in your 3rd round, 4th round, you don't have to scroll that far because you generally the guy you'll pick is going to be within 2 scrolls. But once you get into pick 100, 120, you could scroll way down and find someone that you want. So it does take a little more hunting. And I guess for anyone that still does have a draft coming up, this is one of the advantages of picking on the turn, is that you do get plenty of time to prep for your picks, and you can usually plan 2 picks at once. I can. You almost can. But yeah, it does mean you can plan back to back, and you can pair stats. So you, like for instance, with my next pick, I need assist, steals, and field goal percentage. I'm probably not going to find a player that gives me all 3. So I just find a guard who will get me some assists and steals and won't destroy my field goal percentage, and then I can find a big who might be able to help me in that category. So there are benefits to drafting on the turn.
Definitely. And with this, I think with my next one, I am looking at Buddy Hield. I think that's really good value to get Hield there. It feels so late for John Collins. Like there's no way. I don't know. It's crazy that he's still there, but also not that crazy because I just don't see him. He fit well with the Hawks at first because he was able to run pick and rolls with Trae Young. And that was when he was at his best, really good for fantasy because he was able to run pick and rolls, be the beneficiary of lobs. Also, just a solid player, was able to hit threes before last season. But now he's going to Utah, and his point guard is probably Colin Sexton, maybe Keontae George. I don't really see, the dominant pick and roll option there with John Collins. So don't really know. I don't think it's a very good spot for him at all. So glad I don't even have to worry about it now. Thank you. I think that's fine, to take him there because I'm thinking I kind of have to take him because it's so late. Yeah, he should be gone, but okay. Well, Dan said to let the world know that he hates his team. Anyway,
right.
that's
And
live
that's
streaming. It's not live, but
no, Dan Titus, he hates his team. Who is his team? Let me have a look while you go through your pick there. So Dan Titus has got. So he's picking before me at pick 11. Kevin Durant, Anthony Edwards, Evan Mobley, Lowry Markkinen, OG Anunoby, Tyler Hero, Jalen Duren, Tyus Jones, Rob Williams, and Benedict Mathurin. I think his picks are all fine if you look at where he got them. Markkinen fell to him. I don't think he reached. Maybe Duren slightly. Rob Williams is good value there. Mathurin is good value. Maybe it's more about the build that he hates and that he's not sort of dominant in any one category. I'm not sure.
yeah,
I don't know. Maybe get him on your show and find out why he hates his team.
maybe that's it. I don't hate it. I kind of like a lot of it. I like a lot of his picks. But
I love my team. I don't know. I might finish last, but I'm going to enjoy watching them play.
That's what matters. I really probably need to get another rebounder, don't I? Because I got Cat and Embiid to start, and it's like, cool, I'm good with rebounds. That didn't really help them out at all. I mean, like a couple guys are decent rebounders, but
yeah,
and yet I'm probably not going to do it.
That is a trap you can fall into as well. You can, if you get a couple of guys early, other than blocks, I think if you get 2 block guys early, you're pretty safe for the rest of the draft because all of your little bits and pieces will add up to get you enough so that you're competitive in blocks. Steals to some degree because they're lower volume, but yeah, as you've seen with your rebounds here, outside of those two, PJ Washington will get a few. Wiggins will get a few. So you probably...
I don't want to get Zubats here, but I feel like I kind of have to get some rebounds.
Yeah.
I should have got more rebounds earlier, then I wouldn't have to make this dumb, stupid pick. But I really do need to get a couple extra rebounds. Now I can have fun with my last 2 picks now that I've got the boring stuff out of the way.
Yeah, we are into our bench now.
Last 3 picks. Excuse me. We have 3 more picks. Oh, cool. 3 more fun picks. Great.
After this one, yeah. So we're going 14 deep. Bit of chatter going on here, although I can't follow along because Westbrook is still available. Maybe he's going to fall to me.
And then you're just going to have that internal war again. I saw it in your eyes.
I want someone to take him so I don't have to
please
make that decision. As you said, though, I mean, he was better down the stretch last year in with the Clippers. I think I'm pretty good in. Yeah, he is a good fit, other than his field goal percentage. If I could get him on the phone and he could guarantee me that he's going to shoot 46% and not 41%, then I'd be more comfortable.
We'll work on that. We'll work on getting Westbrook on the show to be able to guarantee you that.
Yeah.
I guess we got to act pretty quickly because it's got to be about 8 picks from now. So I don't know how much success we'll have.
He might be watching along. You never know.
No,
sorry, we're not live. We're not live, so how would he be watching along?
And he went, so you're good. Don't worry about it. B-Dub took him off your hands as well.
Okay.
Thank you, B-Dub.
Yeah, now I've got to find someone else that gets me 6 or 7 assists a game.
I think there's still some guys, or at least a guy.
Yeah, there goes Trey Jones. Yeah, I mean, there's a guy here that I don't mind. And again, he is a good fit for my team, but he's really, really boring. But maybe I need boring on my team that has Wembanyama, Chet, Giddey, Azar Thompson.
Boring isn't the worst thing here.
No. My team is full of upside. Maybe I need to start going steady at pick 134 or whatever we're at. 132.
Yeah, you'll be 132 and 133.
Yeah. So Kyle Lowry's sitting here. He's obviously an assist target for me, but yeah, again, his field goal percentage doesn't fill me with confidence. I could. Actually, did he? I thought we had a
It was supposed to be, I think their message was Amen Thompson swap in for Paul Reed for B-Dub, but then it just didn't happen, so I don't know.
Yeah, because well, I don't want to put it in there now because someone might take it. But yes, I am looking at a man in here. Maybe as some assists, but I don't know if he's available.
I think he is, but that's another guy that I thought you could have gone with Schroeder there, and then Jade McDaniels just went. He's not going to get you many assists, so you don't have to worry about that.
All right, let me just see if someone's watching to see, because I can see him in the thing there, but
right.
I just want to. No, he's not. Okay. Okay. Well, maybe I am. All right. Well, I know who I'll take here then, and it's my boring pick. And he's going to help me with some assists and some rebounds, bit of everything. Kyle Anderson, really boring, but fits this build. So now I probably need. He's not really going to get me blocks.
Reclaim just asked if anybody else having the problem where the player pool is out of good players. If anybody's not having that problem, I'd love to know.
Yeah. No. All right. I know who I'm going to go with. And
you got 3 seconds.
Yep. My timer had 40. Hang on. Let me see if they'll let me change him. Sorry for the.
No, you're good.
For the typing. See if I don't even know who's running this. Is it Alex? It's either Alex or B-Dub who's hosting it. And I just.
Oh no! You can't get Jalen Johnson. What?
Yeah. I can get Jalen Johnson.
Oh, that's cheating.
All right. Let me see if I can.
Well, dang! I was ready to add him to my queue. I was like, okay, I'll let Adam make his pick real quick. I wonder if I refresh it, will it show up? Okay.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Okay, so now I see
Amen
Thompson's there. Oh, and Gary Trent. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, at least Mitch said he was going to take Jalen Johnson, so I'm good. He wouldn't have made it back around to me, is my point.
I think Mitch probably wanted Jalen Johnson there as well.
Yeah.
I won't repeat what he typed, but anyone watching can see what he typed. So.
But, well, I was hoping he'd make it back around to me, so it makes me feel better that at least even if you didn't take him, somebody else would have. So no worries. We're good. Great pick.
All right. So we got still 2 picks, still 2 rounds after this one to go. We're really into flyer territory now. So we're just looking at people are just taking guys they want. Trey Murphy goes there. Derek Lively. No idea who I'm going to take with my next 2 picks. So coming up to you, you still going to chase some rebounds, or what are you looking at here with your 12th pick?
I probably shouldn't I? I don't really know what I'm just gonna try and add a couple guys. Maybe I'll do a safe rebounding pick and go like a Kevon Looney, and then I'll be good on rebounds, and then go with an upside swing. I have a couple in my queue. If you're able to see it, hopefully.
I can. Yep.
Well, don't even have to worry about Kevon Looney. So I got to find different rebounds.
Looney Looney did just go. Yeah, I mean, there's chances. I mean, you get really desperate and you go someone like an Andre Drummond, but we don't need to be doing that.
That feels sinful.
Yeah, that's wrong. Paul Reed, you've got there in your queue. Sadiq Bey, sneaky for rebounds.
You just had to say the name out loud, and then he got picked.
Oh, he did. Yeah, I'm surprised he was there actually at that point.
Yeah. Well, I think B-Dub still got him 2 rounds later. I might go with
all right, so
dang. Because we've talked about this before. Cole Anthony has pretty decent rebounding numbers for a guard, so that could help a little bit. But I think I'm going to go with Christian Braun here. Zach has me very high on Christian Braun this year, so I hope he doesn't lead me astray. And then watch what's going to happen is Josh is going to have to take Sadiq Bey for like the 17th consecutive draft. Yeah, I think I want to make Josh take Sadiq Bey.
and I mean, look, what pick are we at? 144.
Yeah.
Sadiq Bey's fine at that range.
Oh, yeah, no issues with Sadiq Bey. Well, if Josh doesn't take him, I'm going to.
Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to find anyone at this point in the draft who is going to help me with my field goal percentage, but actually play enough to help me with my field goal percentage. Because, I mean, I can get guys that are going to shoot 70%, as I said,
right.
Andre Drummond, DeAndre Jordan, Damian Jones, just looking in the queue here. But none of them are going to play meaningful minutes. So that's the challenge here is finding someone that's going to play more than 10 minutes.
All right, I guess I'll go Sadiq Bey.
I mean, there's a guy who should
play meaningful minutes, you're saying?
No, should be efficient, but he isn't, and that's Isaiah Stewart.
Oh, yeah. They've made him into a little stretch 4.
Yeah, that can't shoot threes, so that's not doesn't work. Oh, yeah, man, there's really no one.
That 14th round, man. Nobody wants that.
No. Oh, yuck. I don't like that. That's pretty much what I'm chasing here at this point is field goal percentage, I think. But
Steven Adams is available.
Yeah, plug him into IR for 12 months.
I'll tell you what, he will not hurt your field goal percentage.
He will not
damage it at all.
My free throw percentage.
He won't. This is going to be his least damaging free throw percentage year of his career.
Yeah. How many minutes is Rashawn Holmes going to play? Can you answer that question?
Over the course of the season, I think I can count on 2 hands. No, that's an exaggeration, obviously. I don't know, man. Probably not enough.
No.
That's going to be my final answer. The number you asked for, my answer is not enough.
Yeah, that's a fair answer too.
That's a good pick, B-Dub. Getting 20 points per game in round 13 is not bad.
Yep. Oh, he's not there. Stop lying to me. Yeah, we're really into the weeds now.
Yeah.
With this draft. Oh, how many minutes is he going to play? There is a guy here that I like. Where is he? Probably someone I have to scroll a long way down to get. But I do like his game, and I'm not sold on Mitch Robinson.
Sims or Hartenstein?
Hartenstein. I still think he has a really nice fantasy game.
Yeah.
Efficient, can get defensive stats, can pass, good rebounder. But yeah, Robinson's still ahead of him. But I do think he'll play 20 minutes. I just don't think Mitch Robinson will ever be a 32, 33 minute a night player.
Right.
A little bit like Rob Williams. I think he's more in the high 20s. So I think there's a role there. I'm just another guy who would actually be a nice fit for me would be Larry Nance.
Yeah.
But I think he's injured at the moment, isn't he? Because he can get out of position steals.
That sounds right that he's injured. That sounds right.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I don't think it's anything bad, but I am fairly certain he's injured. See if I can find him. So he's questionable, apparently. He seems to always be questionable. There is another guy there as well. Oh, I'm on the clock. Okay, so I've actually come up with a few options here. Jared Vanderbilt is probably top of my list because I think he plays at least 24 minutes a night. He can get steals and rebounds. He's efficient. So I'm going to take Jared Vanderbilt here.
Okay.
And then I need another field goal percentage guy. So I had Christian Wood, but I don't really want to draft him. Isaiah Stewart, I don't really want to draft him. So it's probably Isaiah Hartenstein or Larry Nance. I think Nance is a better fit. He's injured, but I'm going to take Larry there. I can drop him into my IR spot if he's injured and
Sure.
Pick up someone off waivers. So my team's done.
How do you feel about it? Do you like it?
This doesn't matter if I don't now. Let me just clear my queue so I can drag my team box up here and look at my team. Yeah, look, I like it. As I said, it's fun. I got my guys.
Right.
So I'm going to enjoy it. Whether it's going to lead to victories, I'll say that I'll have a lot of moral victories this season.
Yeah, there's nothing here. Am I gonna?
No, there is not.
If you want to look at my queue, it's very exciting.
Yeah, let's have a look. Well, I mean, Kevin Huerter, if you can land Kevin Huerter, I think that's really good.
Yeah,
value.
no,
We're at
it's good value.
So it's boring, but it's good value.
Right.
Cole Anthony as well. I think he's probably good value there. Jonathan Isaac, who knows?
If I take the chance on Isaac, maybe he plays basketball healthy. I was about to say healthily, but I feel like it's not a word. If he has a healthy season, that's how I'll say it.
Yes. Yep.
And that's not a guarantee, but you know what? I think that's what I'm going to do because that'll get me some defensive stats and some decent rebounding numbers. If he's actually healthy, and if not, then I'll just drop him, no problem, or just leave him on my IR. It's kind of his second home.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got I mean, look, still some value. Like Jordan Clarkson, B-Dub just landed Sexton and Clarkson back to back. 2 20-point scorers in round 13 and 14. That's pretty
Huge
good.
Jazz fan, B-Dub.
Apparently, yes. Dylan Brooks, really clean. Yucky.
Yeah, I was pretty surprised by that one.
But again, at this point, and Miles Bridges, you draft him and you drop him straight into IR and get someone and just wait and see what happens. Cam Thomas, Bilal Koulibaly. Plenty of upside guys here.
I like Koulibaly a lot this year, especially if he starts. It may just be steals, but I think his defense will get him on the court enough to at least contribute a little bit in other areas. But that steals they'll be huge based on what he's done so far. A lot of steals in the preseason, and Jalen Williams was a fantasy star the second half of last season, mostly because of the steals. He did other things well as well, but maybe he has that level of production. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe.
Well, so we're getting close to you here, and Herder is still there. Isaac.
I think Rhett's going to take Jonathan Isaac. I just have a feeling. Oh, it's going to upset me. For some reason in my mind, he likes Isaac. Maybe not like a lot, but like at least I've heard him mention him before. And maybe I'm totally mistaken. Oh, don't do it, Rhett.
No, AJ Griffin. All right.
Oh, okay. AJ Griffin's the guy I want on my team, but I didn't really need him. It didn't make sense to me, so I'm going to do it.
Yep.
I'm going to go Jonathan Isaac. I can't believe that. I think that's the first time I've drafted him this preseason / summer at all. Haven't really drafted Isaac anywhere. And then Josh ended with Bojan Bogdanovic. So the draft's done. We are through here.
Relatively quick, an hour, and B-Dub just put in there an hour and 13 minutes. That's pretty good for a 14-round draft. Let's
do this. So we have the full draft board here. All right, so let's see. I'm going to go through my team by category quickly. I feel like I'm really good at points. My first 6 rounds will all be at least 20 points per game. And then most of the rest of my guys will at least be double figures, except maybe not Zubats or Christian Brown. Rebounds, really good. Embiid and Cat, decent from Jimmy, decent from DeRozan and Wiggins, decent from Washington. Had to go Zubats there. So rebounds is average. Assists, not even worried about, very below average. Steals, Jimmy will get me some. Wiggins will get me some. Melton, Washington, maybe Christian Brown, and Isaac if he plays. Blocks, I got Embiid, Cat. Maybe Wiggins can get me one a game. Maybe Melton, Washington one a game. Jonathan Isaac if he plays. I feel good about my field goal percentage. Poole and Simons and Melton will probably bring that down, and Sadiq Bey, but the other guys will make it very high. Really, really good. Feel really good about my free throws. My first, I think 6 guys are at least 85% free throw shooters off the top of my head. I feel confident saying that. So not worried about Wiggins shooting 65% on 3 attempts per game. Turnovers, I literally have never, ever considered turnovers when I draft. And then threes is probably a little bit below average, but I do have some good shooters. Cat will get me some. Jordan Poole. Simons will get me a lot. Melton, Washington, okay. Buddy Hield will get me a bunch. Sadiq Bey. So I feel pretty confident with my team. I'd say I don't love it, but I feel like I got good value a lot of places and made solid picks or got my guys. So pretty happy about it. How do you feel about yours?
Yeah, look, like I said, from the get-go, I was in my mind, I was going pretty wacky here, really wanting to just get Wembanyama on a competitive team this season, so reach for him. So Anthony Davis, Wembanyama, Chet with my first 3 picks, basically securing my blocks for the rest of the draft. I didn't really draft anyone else for blocks. Nurkic, maybe. Maybe
Asar Thompson,
Larry
maybe.
Nance. Asar Thompson, maybe. Yeah. No block specialist though by any means. So went with them. Drew Holiday, again, a little bit of a reach in the scheme of things, but he fitted what I needed, some assist steals, and doesn't kill my field goal percentage. And that's sort of what I was going for here, trying to get guards that aren't going to tear down my field goal percentage. Marcus Smart probably goes against that a little bit, which is why I wanted Chris Paul over him, because I think Chris Paul is probably more efficient. But I needed those assists and steals. Giddy in the 5th round. So what's pick 60? I like getting him there. I don't have him on many teams this year, so and he's good in terms of his eligibility. He's got 3 position eligibility. So Giddy, Fultz. I'm just trying to get everywhere. Smart, Nurkic, fractionally high, but fits what I need, so I'm okay to reach there. Asar Thompson, Josh Hart, Kyle Anderson, Jalen Johnson, Jared Vanderbilt, Larry Nance. So given my build, what I wanted, I'm pretty happy. I was sniped a couple of times. I wanted, as I said, Chris Paul and Scotty Barnes. I might have taken over Josh Giddey, maybe, and someone else. I'm sure I was sniped somewhere else on someone. I can't think who it was. I know I was sniped anyway on someone else. Derek White, I wanted to fall back to me, but was never going to happen. So, no, look, generally I'm pretty happy. Projected standings are pretty good. I've already got those up on Basketball Monster. Yeah.
Are you able to share your screen and show that?
Yeah, I probably can do that. You might need to stop sharing.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
All right, let me share my screen window. All right, it's going to be a bit small, although hang on, maybe I can zoom in a bit. I can maybe make that even bigger. There we go. All right. So for people that are watching, they're the projected standings. Obviously, this is just based on projections, and these are Josh's projections. So, take from it what you will, but it projects me as second in total value. And I mean, when you punt like I punt, you rarely finish first because I'm never going to win 7-2 or anything like that. So it's got me sort of 5-4, 4-5 against pretty much every team. You come in there at 5th, so I don't know, fairly happy with that, I suppose. It's just projections. It's one person's projections. But I'm okay. In terms of my punt, I think I built it pretty well. Points and threes and free throws were my punt categories, and I'm pretty terrible in those. Fairly good across those counting stats, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks, and then my field goals against certain teams are good. And just by way of my punt, I'm pretty good in turnovers as well, just because I don't have a lot of guards that are scoring the ball a lot. A lot of those elite guards that turn the ball over a lot. So pretty happy. Any thoughts there on those?
Yeah, it's funny. I said I don't care about turnovers, and based on the projections, I'm 3rd best in turnovers. So that's not what I was trying to do at all. Yep. And it looks like my field goal percentage is going to be a little bit worse than I expected it to, but rebounds and assists a little low, steals, blocks average. 3 is better than I kind of, I guess, realized while I was drafting, but definitely strong with points. And I think my free throw percentage ends up being stronger than that indicates. I'm not really sure what's tearing my free throw percentage down to 81. Maybe Cat's not as good as I'm imagining him to be from the free throw line. I'm not sure, but happy to see myself at 5th.
Yep.
I guess it also depends on the schedule as well. So, yikes. Okay, let's go back to total value. I don't like that as much.
So that's per game, and again, that's very subjective because it's basically saying that you probably don't have a lot of guys that are going to play a lot. No, hang on, I have to think. If you're good in total, so you've got guys that are going to be healthy. That's what it's sort of saying, that you've got a durable
Right.
team who are projected to play a lot of games. Whereas some of these other guys who are higher per game than you. So again, doesn't mean a lot, but it's interesting to have a look
definitely.
at it. So
cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was fun. Look forward to the season, and we'll see how it plays out, and maybe we'll touch base on this every couple of weeks or something. I'm sure all the other analysts will as well, so there'll be plenty of content for anyone that wants to follow along. But I'll let you wrap us up.
Yeah, definitely, Adam. Thanks for joining me as we dove into this draft, first ever industry pickup draft. Really excited to see how this league plays out. I'm gonna take you off while I read out this last bit. But Adam, thank you so much for joining me.
No worries, my pleasure.
Absolutely. All right, and you can give Adam a follow on Twitter at AdamKing91. You can follow me if you're on the screen. You're able to see it at NoahRubin22. Make sure to check out our website, FBIBasketball.com. Follow us on Twitter at FBIBasketball. I know we mentioned the links for this league earlier with industrypickup.com or just at industrypickup. But that is going to do it for episode 34 of the Tank Me Later podcast. And make sure you're checking back in for regular updates on this league. And thanks for watching.
You just listened to another episode from the Fantasy Basketball International Podcast Network. Thanks for joining us. And for more information about joining our community, please check out our website at fbibasketball.com.